So I'm going to shoot to do 3 or 4 videos today because I got a little bit of time, and maybe post them over the course of the week or the next couple days. But I wanted to talk about, some stuff that I've been playing most recently. So I'm hoping this is going to be a relatively short video. So still working on troubleshooting my phono preamp. So I've had to resort to playing things quite a bit digitally, but there's quite a bit of stuff that I'm playing that I got a digital download or I've had on CD for a while. But one of the things that I recently picked up that I really recommend is the Electric Peanut Butter Company. This is Transatlantic Psych Classics Volume 1. So the Electric Peanut Butter Company, they are a kind of a psych, I don't want to call them instrumental, most of their tracks are instrumental. They do have a couple of tracks where they do have some vocals, but this is really good. As I said, it's a psych record. It's electric, noisy electric guitars, but it has this nice 60s vibe. This is a great album. Of course, since I can't spin vinyl, I haven't cleaned it up. But this release, it did come with a download code. It's on Ubiquity Records. And peanut butter, of course it comes on peanut butter colored vinyl. Pretty cool, huh? I recommend it if you're really into psych, if you're into instrumentals, guitars with a little bit of feedback noise. It's great stuff. Next thing I picked up, so this one I had mixed feelings about. So this was an eBay auction. And occasionally you see auctions for original classic records lacquers out there. So a lot of the lacquers, they go for huge dollars. I mean, especially if the band is really well known or the artist is really well known. I mean, the lacquers are going for 3 or 4 figures, and I can't justify spending that much money on a lacquer because lacquers are going to degrade. I mean, 7, 8 plays, I mean, what I've read, it's gone, I mean, the lacquers are used to make the mothers, which then are used to make the stampers, which press the records. So they're made out of a nitrocellulose material that, just cannot handle the pressure of the diamond stylus. Anyways, I saw this auction up here, and, I see a couple of them that received no bids, and so I'm like, I'll bid the minimum, and if I get it, cool. If not, I'm not going to bid anymore because, again, I don't see playing something that you can only get 8 or 9 plays out of, if that. Anyways, I bid on one, lowballed it, and I won it, and it's kind of cool. So this is the lacquer to the B side of Blues Walk. By Donaldson. And what they do with these lacquers is, so the original lacquer is about 16 inches, so I haven't opened this guy up yet. I don't know if I want to until, I get some decent gear again to play it, but they trim it down to a record size and it'll play just like any record. So I think my bid was like $15 on this, so it's the B side. I mean, I prefer the A side, but B side, hey, I'll take it. Blues Walk is actually one of my favorite albums by Donaldson. So I have the 45 RPM pressing by Analog Productions. Donaldson was extremely prolific, so he was making albums in the 50s up until God knows when. I think up until the 90s, even into the 2000s. But it's really his 50 stuff that resonates with me. I do have some of his funky stuff from the late 60s and 70s, which is also really good. But this album is one of my favorites by him. Of course, I like the title track, Blues Walk. I'm actually hoping that Music Matters will pick this guy up. I mean, Analog Productions, again, I did a video on this for John Techhead. I mean, the cover is flimsy for what you pay for. I mean, these were going for about $50 a piece. I mean, limited, but they're 45 RPM pressings, and Analog Productions, when they first started pressing records, they were doing it at RTI, just like Music Matters, just like MoFi. But Chad Kasem, the company owner of Analog Productions, was getting frustrated with the fact that, you know, there was so much of a backlog of stuff that RTI had to press that, you know, he decided, I'm just going to invest in my own pressing plant, and hence we have QRP today. So if you buy any of the new Analog Production stuff, it's all manufactured at QRP. Now, QRP, you know, they're doing a lot of the 200 gram pressings. My experience with QRP is, you know, occasionally I do get a work record. RTI, I personally have never had an issue with anything that I've gotten that was pressed from RTI. So QRP, I think they're improving. I picked up their latest Duke Ellington release, and I'll have to show it in another video. I think they're trying to replicate what Music Matters is doing, because this Duke Ellington piece, which they did, thick cardboard cover, gatefold, has photos, so you know it's nice when these companies are seeing what the other one is doing good, and I mean the consumer benefits because we get a better product out of it. So someday I hope to play the lacquer, but I think I'm going to sit on it a while. It was kind of cool to win the auction. So another thing that I've been playing quite a bit lately is Linda Perhacs. Now, this guy has been on a lot of Best of 2014 for a lot of people. I really dug this album. It's folk, psych folk, I guess you could call it. It's done on the Asthmatic Kitty label. And what I find out, which is kind of cool about Asthmatic Kitty, is that their office is based out of Lander, Wyoming. And Wyoming is the state where I'm originally from. And Lander's a small town, relatively speaking. I mean, it has about 8,000, maybe 10,000 people now. And just to have a record label out there that's doing this stuff is pretty cool. So, this, you know, it's great. It has an ethereal quality to it. I know I've used that word before, but great stuff. I mean, it's trippy in some places. Light in the Attic Records, which is another label that I really like, did her first release, first and only release I think it was, back from the early 70s, and when they did their reissue of her first record, I played it and I wasn't too impressed with it at all. And then I saw all the hype that this was getting. I'm like, well, I'll try this one, see if I like it. And this one did resonate with me. So I went back and I sampled her first release, and now I honestly think this is better. And I mean, she came out with this like 40 years later. One of the artists that I really like out of Los Angeles, Night Jewel, and a couple others brought her back to the forefront. They found her and did a new album, and I mean, you can't even tell that she's been doing nothing for 40 years, because this is really good. This is very spiritual. So, you know, if you're into psych folk with the spiritual element, yeah, check this out. This isn't bad. Last album, well, I'll show two more. This album I've been playing quite a bit lately. This is a Chinese shoegaze band, I want to say, Dear Eloise. There's a label, Maybe Mars, there it is, that has been putting out Chinese rock, shoegaze, punk type stuff, and they're pressing them up in limited quantities, but this is really good. There's a lot of feedback, a lot of reverb, but it's shoegazy. It's I think the closest analog that I could compare this to is Mazzy Star. It's all sung in Chinese. This one I did happen to clean up, but I haven't played the final yet, and came with a digital download. Very plain label. Let's see, it was pressed by Pirates Press, which I have a few Pirates Press albums. Sometimes, you know, I've gotten some Pirates Press albums that have some non-fill, but I can't tell you what this sounds like because my phono preamp is still out of commission. So maybe when I do play it, maybe I'll do another video and tell you what the sound quality is like. But you know, I've been playing the digital download; it sounds great. So if you like the shoegazy, Mazzy Star type stuff, give this a listen. I mean, all the lyrics are in Chinese, so I don't know what they're singing about, but still pretty cool. Now, the last album I'm going to show is a French album. Now I'm going to probably butcher the pronunciation. Guem et Zaka percussion. This is original French press. Le Chant du Monde. This is just great. So if you're into African type percussion, this is really cool. The track that this album is really known for is a track called The Serpent. So if I can find a YouTube link, I'll post it below. But this is excellent, but really hard to find. I think I had to get this one directly from Europe, but I was really happy to get an original press of this. So that's what I've been spinning lately. Hopefully you found this a little bit entertaining. Please leave comments below. If you know anything more about the albums or if you have any suggestions, please shoot me a comment. Thanks for watching.